Hello, Fire Lotus here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. So, on today's little video that I'll be doing, due to social media and the influx and everything like that, I know a lot of people feel pressured to have to go out and buy all these special tools, that look all fancy and everything like that. I'm here today to show you some of the tools that I personally use and a couple other things that you can use. And I honestly love seeing when people use stuff like I'm about to show you or make their own things, because it kind of breaks that aesthetic look, which there's nothing wrong with the aesthetic look. If you like the aesthetic look of being a witch, because it also puts you in the mood to do magic, that's okay. So, with that, some ideas on some chalices as well. Dollar Tree, thrift stores. They don't have to be an actual chalice. It can be a coffee mug. It can be a beer mug. The old German style beer mugs, I don't know what it's called, but where it has the top on it, that would be perfect for them. So there's an idea for that. Like I said, Dollar Tree, they have all different types of glassware for $1. I know my first 3 chalices that I used, well, my first 2 were from the Dollar Tree, and then I went to a antique / thrift store and bought one of those. I have it right here, actually, but I can't use it at the moment because I've got to fix the inside of it. Anyways, so everything that you are about to see here, I basically had here at the house. Now, some of them were burned by my partner, but you can use a Sharpie marker. You can use any type of marker. Again, you have to think now, because I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, traditional witches. If you want to think about the old school witches, they didn't have stores where they could go out and buy all these fancy tools. They used what they had, and you can also incorporate this as a ritual while you're making them. You don't have to be creative, and I'm about to show you how different they can look. First off, a magic fetish. This right here was roots that I dug up and dried out. I'm not telling you what they are. I wrapped it around, used some spare fabric, one little tiny crystal, and then this right here, the actual head of this, which is used with glue and a little bit of clay, came off of a souvenir that was brought to me. This little guy right here, minus the head, this little guy right here, and minus the roots, and I basically took it apart. Another root system that I dug up outside and dried out with some polymer clay that I got from the Dollar General, baked it, put this in there, and voila! You have a little fetish or a little poppet. And those are 2 different types right there. Okay, another one. Now, be careful if harvesting this. Do not get it around pets. Do not ingest it. And you can either dry it out in the oven on the lowest setting possible for about 3 to 4 hours. Check on it, obviously, make sure it doesn't burn, but it does take time to dry out. If it doesn't dry out, it will mold. Or you can just use a salt mixture and the sun. But this right here is pokeweed, or pokeberry weed. It grows everywhere. It's also known as Indian tobacco. I would not do it. Now, the plant itself is toxic. There are ways at a certain point of its growth that you apparently can collect it, as long as you know what you're doing, and as long as you go through the preparations, and actually it can be edible, but in general, no. But the root, this right here is the root, they're extremely protective. Now, what I could do with this is either make another doll. I could turn this into a poppet doll. I could cut little pieces off using a nail safely, puncture it, and make a little necklace out of it. But protective, grows everywhere. Most, I know in the southern states here in the United States, grows everywhere. But remember, even when it comes to herbs, if you can't go out and buy the basic kitchen herbs, most things outside, trees, bushes, different types of weeds that grow in your yard, can all be used in the craft for magical purposes. And yes, I know I'm sweating. I'm sorry. I'm in Florida. I can't have the AC on and do this because it's just too loud. I do got some windows open. This right here, technically, depending on your practice, it would be called a GG bag. A GG bag. But this is just my power pouch. A couple of herbs, a couple of other things wrapped together with spare fabric. Sorry, I can't think. With a couple little herbs. Bam. Okay. Now we're going to go into the tools. So, like I said, one of these is burned, and the other one I made. This right here is the one that I made. It's my little wand. Now I added this so I can hang it up if I wanted to. Got a little lavender right there. Extra thread. This was a stick that I randomly found, a crystal that I had. I fastened it on there, and bam. And look, this right here, I can actually measure a little bit of things. I made this myself. My partner did, this right here was actually a piece of a old, I honestly want to say it went to a chair, but it was a piece of like old furniture. Now he did paint it. It's the moon cycles, a couple of other symbols, and then like vine work right here, and I stuck a little tiny crystal there. Bam! Works perfectly. Now if you can't burn anything, use a marker, Sharpie marker. You want to altar, and even a portable altar, this is just a piece of rock. Now I've had this for like probably 10 years now, but this is just a piece of rock that I painted over. Perfect altar, flat, and it's made of earth. Now this right here, this was from a wedding that I went to. Let me see if it'll focus in on it. There you go. A wedding that I went to. Very protective for multiple reasons. Anything, if you go to a family gathering, like a wedding or any type of ceremonial like that, even a family reunion, collect some of those things. It is charged with those happy moments. Now this one right here, a scrap piece of wood. My partner burned yes, no, the alphabet, and goodbye. Personal Ouija board or spirit board. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. Now, if you want to and you have that, by all means, go do it. But literally, go out in nature and forest. Go to a park. If you live in the city, try to find a park. Get your friends to send you some things. Protective, shells, acorns can be used. Any type of seed can be used in your spell work. Oak trees. Most trees around you have certain magical qualities. Moss, Spanish moss, especially if you live in southern states. Spanish moss, there are multiple things you can do with that. And they're all around you. You just have to go out. It doesn't have to look like this right here. The little shaker did get damaged, but this was another wand that I made. I got a little feather, a little coin, lavenderite, little bitty feather. And then this right here were 2 seed pods. Kind of here. But get seed pods. Anything that makes noise. Get them. It raises vibration as well, and you can shake it. Bam! You don't have to go out and spend all this stuff. And personally, with me, this makes me feel more of a, not saying if you go out and buy all this stuff, you're not one, but to me, it helps me get more in touch with my ancestors, especially because I do have some that grew up in Appalachia. And whittling, I mean, on one of my families, one of the last family names that I have in my family is whittle, as in you're whittling a stick. I am literally recreating and rewalking through the steps that eventually somebody in my family did. Magic doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to look aesthetically. All these witches way back then are the people that were accused of witchcraft, the cunning folk, the healers, the medicine men and women. They had what they had. They didn't go out and try to do this. It doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing. Not all magic is. Now, with that, and here are some updates. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Like, share, comment, do the thing. Subscribe, turn on that bell. I have been recently sick. I am still sick. I am getting a little bit better. No, it's not that's going around. Sinuses and stuff. But I did want to say that I am supposed to be doing an interview with Lady Gravedancer on one of her lives on her YouTube page. Go subscribe if you're not. Last week I was supposed to, but like I said, I got sick. So as soon as I'm right up and better, I will be continuing that. I'm actually planning on going live on my Facebook page. I'll probably post this afterwards. And yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. But after I get better, fully better, content's going to provide. I'm still on TikTok. I have 2 accounts now, Fire Lotus the Witch and Fire Lotus 2.0. I've been posting content regularly. I am going to start going live on there as well. Both Instagrams, Fire Lotus the Witch and Fire Lotus the Witch podcast. Facebook page, Fire Lotus the Witch. And I also have a Discord. You can find all of what I just said in the link tree posted below. My podcast, the 2 most recent episodes are part 1 and part 2 of me interviewing the one and only Bloody Mary from New Orleans. The one after that, I interviewed Brian, a traditional witch. Loved that interview. I've interviewed a chaos witch, a death witch, a crystal specialist and author. I interviewed the creator behind... Oh, it's raining for the first time. So sorry. The creator behind Flowers from the Dead Oracle. And I have so many more videos and episodes coming up. I will also eventually be interviewing the one and only Lady Gravedancer. So yeah, you can find my podcast on Spotify, Applecast, and Anchor at Fire Lotus the Witch. Bam. So yeah, other than that, I hope you're all enjoying this energy. I know it's been chaotic. We got the retrogrades going. We're about to have another eclipse. June 10th, I believe. So yeah, also if y'all would like me to make any specific videos that I haven't already, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to do that. And here shortly I will be doing a book review on about 4 or 5 books. So until then, Lotus seedlings and sprouts. I hope you're all having an amazing week. And yeah, until then, peace.